What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. I just wanted to touch on something that came to me the other day that I thought might be helpful to some of you, those of you listen. And that's talking about looking at the idea of how we try to use supplements in order to help what's going on in our body, and how it's no different from us looking at supplementation the same way with movement. And what I mean by that is there's this idea, when you look at supplements, a lot of times you're trying to basically isolate a specific mineral or a specific thing that is in a fruit or a vegetable or in an animal or in wherever you're getting your nutrition from. And it's going, I'm deficient in this, and I'm going to then take a lot of that. Therefore, that's going to make me better. And I'm not saying that that doesn't work at times, but when we look at the longevity of things and looking at, I need to really take action in regards to looking at bigger picture in my health and wellness. It's recognizing that those minerals, those different things that you're trying to nurture your body with food, water, whatever it may be, those specific minerals acts in a certain way with the rest of wherever you're getting it from. So if you look at someone's like, I need vitamin C, which again, I have my thoughts on that, but ultimately I'm looking at, I need something that's going to enrich my nutrition and my hydration from an orange. Okay, some people it's going to say I'm going to take vitamin C supplements instead of just eating a bunch of oranges, but it's recognizing that those minerals or what's within that perfectly designed food or whatever we're eating or having, it has to interact with the rest of it, right? The fibers that's within that fruit, or the water that was absorbed through this perfect soil or this hopefully good soil that then is matured and blossomed within the fruit itself. So now you're receiving that as well. You're receiving the charge that comes from it. You're not just looking at it as, I need this one specific mineral. Because again, it's like looking at it's like, I need an arm. Well, if you don't have the rest of the body, is the arm really functioning, right? It's being able to recognize that, trying to pinpoint one thing that you're missing out on might be missing out on the whole picture. And we see this with training, and I hope I'm making sense, but we see this with training in the sense that people will say, I need to work my arms. I need stronger arms. And it's not necessarily recognizing that you can try to just do a bunch of arms and they may get bigger, but if your arms aren't having the support from the rest of the body, what we're doing is we're trying to just supplement certain movements to just fit what we think is going to be what makes us better. And a lot of times that doesn't always work. It might work for a short period of time, but it becomes then, instead of a supplement, it becomes a dependency. Meaning, if we work out and we say, I have to do arms. In order to keep my arms big, I just have to keep doing bicep curls. Rather than looking at, hey, I need to know how to be able to use my hands and grab things and carry things in a very efficient way. I need to know how to keep my feet stable. I need to know how to keep my body long. I need to know how to not roll my shoulders forward, so that way I can really engage fully through the bicep, the whole arm. Everything is working. So it doesn't matter what movement I'm doing. I can learn how to focus my attention back to the arms and utilize those arms in the biceps, in the triceps, or wherever it may be. Because when you look at the body as these just individual pieces, you're not seeing that. You need the whole body to work for this to be effective. Same thing with food. You need the whole orange for those minerals to, have this bioavailability that your body is then able to uptake and absorb those nutrients. Now, I know people will say, well, dude, look at the studies, look at this. You can see there's changes for sure. But what happens when you stop taking it? Right? What happens when you stop doing certain movements? And we see this all the time with people. It's going, I'm really well until I stop taking that supplement. Once that, then things start to happen again. Things start to hurt again, or my body's deficient again. It's going, well, why isn't your body able to take it on or uptake whatever nutrients, minerals it needs without this? That becomes a dependency. It's no different than being like, hey, I need to take Tylenol every day in order to feel better. Even though I would not do Tylenol, I'm just saying we need to know how to move in that same way. Hey, if I don't stretch for 5 hours a day, then I'm in trouble. Well, that's not what we really want our body to do. Or, hey, I need to be able to just stretch this one part out for for an hour a day, and then I'll be okay. There might be times and places for us to put a long amount of attention to an area, but we need to look at the whole body. We need to look at the food as a whole, because if we're just looking at it from I need to supplement, what's going to start to happen is that supplementation becomes dependency. And I don't want that to be the case for anybody. In a perfect world, I would love when people tell me, hey, I took about like 20 minutes to like really warm up my body, move my body, and I feel good now. Or hey, I took a couple minutes just to move my body and things feel great. Instead of being like, I can do 2 hours and that's when I start to feel good. What that lets me know is okay, we're getting to the root of what we need. Our body is then receiving the hydration, receiving the elasticity within the fascia that it's been looking for. It's receiving the breath in an efficient way, meaning you're allowing yourself to breathe in, breathe out without tensing up. So those types of things start to then create longevity, because now we're spending less time needing to prepare our body to do day-to-day activities. We're hopefully with that creating more motivation. We're giving ourselves a chance to go, man, I can do this. I can sustain this. Is it easy to sustain 2 hours a day of warming up or stretching or rolling or whatever people will do when it takes up a big chunk of the day and you or we do not feel normal without it? If that's the case, that is very hard to sustain. Just like supplements, it's very hard for people to sustain being able to buy, whatever vitamin C, vitamin D, which again, there's a whole nother thing that I'm not going to touch today, but people will go, I need that, I need that. And then it gets expensive. And then it's going, is this even working? Well, it's kind of working, or it was working, and now it's not really working as much. So I need more, or I need to buy a better product, or I need, and I'm not trying to knock any businesses here. I'm just saying we want to use it for what it is. It is a supplementation. It can be effective in that way, just like certain movements can supplement what we're doing. But we need to be able to understand and look at it as a whole. If we only look at single parts of our body and we only train that way, we're missing the bigger picture. Now, I'm not saying you can't isolate your attention during movement, which people, that is what we're doing. But when we look at, I'm only isolating my movement and I'm not paying attention to the rest of my body, that's when a lot of compensation happens. If I'm fully aware of my body and I'm moving in a very conscious way, once I know I'm stable, I'm in the position I want to be, and then say I'm doing a bicep curl. Now I'm putting my attention here. I'm isolating my attention here, knowing the rest of my body is supporting that. Now what we have is us being able to go into the place, hey, I am isolating my attention, but I know for a fact I'm conscious that my body can support this and am in a place where I am not compensating. I'm not adding extra stress to my body. I'm moving with the most efficient way possible. That is much different than I'm doing bicep curls, and I don't even recognize that I'm doing all these things with my body. That's a huge difference. Same thing with supplementing with food. Okay, I'm taking these vitamin C's because this is going to make me better. I understand it comes from, from fruits and from meats and things like that, but this is all I need. Not seeing the bigger picture of going, hey, I can get this in food, or hey, I will eat more meat, or I will eat more certain foods that have these vital nutrients that I need, but I might still need a little extra and I just don't have the stomach for more food. So maybe I will at that point find a good quality supplement to add in addition to the food and everything else that I'm already trying to consume to make me better. So those are moments where we want to look at it in that way so we don't become dependent. So I hope this makes sense. We want to work towards not being dependent. The only dependencies that I would say we do need in our lives and within our training is we needed to be dependent on that breath, knowing that that breath is there to support us and using it as efficiently as possible. Because if we don't, that's when we start to run into a lot of issues. So I just want to keep that in mind for everybody. Let's look at supplementation on every aspect and ask ourselves, am I dependent on it or am I using it for supplementation? And if you feel you are being honest with yourself and I am dependent on this, What are the steps that we can start to take away from that? This is where we can talk more about it at newbiologyclinic.com. You can find me there. If there's any questions you have, again, feel free to reach out on that. I hope you all are well. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy the week. Bye, guys.